2019 State of the City Address as working together with all of you. We've been able to make great strides in the city of Massillon, and I look forward to working with council and council president these next 2 years and hopefully 4 years for all of you. We'd like to share with the audience, these are the members of council, and in the blue, this is now 2019, remember, is the state of the city that we're doing. And so I wanted to at least acknowledge the council members that served last year and thank them for their service to the city of Massillon. I know Mr. Manson served 16 years, which is as long as I have served as well. And that's a long time to serve. So we commend all members of council, but especially Mr. Manson. This year we do have in Ward 1, Mr. Mark Lombardi, and Ward 2, Jim Therrett. Ward 3 is Mike Gray. Ward 4, Joe Kramer. Ward 5, Megan Sterrett returns. Ward 6, Linda Littman. And Ed Lewis is council at large. Nancy Halter, we welcome, and Ted Hernke. The auditor and treasurer and the law director have not changed, but as you all know, the law director is now full-time. These are your department directors. Frank Silla has done an excellent job for us in the building and zoning department. Lori Katahides-Boron, budget and income tax. Samantha Walters, community development. Jason Bopio, engineering department. Tom Bergesser, our fire chief. Terry Argent from our health department. Our housing department has been consistent. Beverly Lewis. BPI is Mike Busson is our IT department. Our operations for the street division is Lee McBride. Park and Rec is Steve Pedro. Our police chief is Keith Moser, and wastewater treatment department that you don't see often is Tony Albright. So we have been fiscally responsible with the city's money since we arrived in 2012, and we won't rehash that, but we've made great strides since then, and the budget has been balanced from 2012 on. Great news, I'll put your eyes directly to 2019. The cash carryover is $5,700,000. I think that deserves a round of applause because we were upside down years ago. And when I say we, I'm talking about council, the auditor's office, the treasurer's office, the council president. We all need to work together to make our city the best that it can be. $2.2 million of that carryover, however, was from the hospital acquisition, and that's about 39%. So I do want you to note that a lot of folks were unsure about the hospital, but we have been able to manage to turn that to a positive, and that's with all of council's help in the past as well. The next slide, I want you to put your eyes on income tax, that top line, and it says 2019, $15,034,000. That is outstanding with the hospital closing. That is 1 full year of the hospital closing, which was one of our top employers in this community. We've only lost about $7,000 in income tax. That is outstanding. So we've made up for that difference of losing our hospital. Now I will tell you, and I'll get into more detail, but my mug here says Open Massillon, and we are so fortunate to have them in our community. The $9 million in the other revenue category in 2019, it's $9 million. And the hospital, the sale of the assets is in there, the NIP program, workers' comp, we did get money back for. We invested wisely. Our treasurer has done an outstanding job investing, and our EMS. There was an article recently in the paper about our EMS and local transporting, and that was an outstanding move on council years ago. Not only are we earning dollars from transporting, but the continuity of care is so much improved from what it was. So I want to give a kudos to our fire department because I would trust them with any one of my family members. In 2017, we had a 97.3%, and what I'm talking about there is 97% went to the general fund and 3% went to capital. And as you look down in 17, you can see our capital was only $471,000. Look at 2019. Every year, instead of jumping, because we started to get money every year, we've only gone up 1%. And this year, we're going to have almost $800,000 in our capital improvement. And our goal is to increase that to 10%. So we're getting there. 2019 was 95.5. This year is 94.6. So we're on our way, and we're going to continue to grow that number, because when that capital number grows, that's when we can do projects. And that's exciting. So our total income tax collection, with all accounts, including our street department, was at $21,100,000. So we're very excited about that. And I'm going to go into the departments, more information about each department as we go forward. Our stabilization fund has increased to now $390,000. At the end of 2019, we were able to take $30,000 and put it in our stabilization fund, and we had $360 in there. We now have $390. So again, growing that so that we have, our goal is to get $3 to $5 million in this account, because that is a healthy city. So when the economy turns downward, and anybody that studied economics knows it will happen, we will be prepared for that downturn. And I just talked about the percentages there, 94 and 6. The balance budget has been done throughout the years, and it is done again for 2020. It is realistic, and infrastructure requirements are being addressed, and we have a strong 5-year forecast. This past year, we had 35 new homes being built, and I think that's an outstanding number. Just to kind of give you a reference, in 2018, we had 53, and in 2017, we had 28. So the average there is probably about 40, so that's pretty good for our community. New residential was about $6 million. Residential dwelling alterations, 4. New commercial, $3 million. And in those new commercial, we have the Aldi, and I hope you visited Aldi's. It is outstanding. It's on Erie South, the Dollar General on Cherry, and we also have Navarre Storage on Erie. Commercial dwellings, $9 million. Included in that is Williams Land Storage, Tiger Tarps, Discount Tire, Tridoc Storage, and we have 2 grain silos on the old Republic property now. New industrial is $2 million. That was on Nova, and industrial alterations about $1 million. So our total is another outstanding number of $29 million reinvested in the city of Massillon. So the total for road paving and projects from 2012 to 2019 is over $10 million. And we did $3.3 million in road paving and repair. And we also had our Imagine Downtown Massillon project of 2.2. So it's $5.5 million. Road paving in 2018 was $1.9 million, in 17 $1.2 million, in 16 $1.4 million, and then look at from 12 to 15, we were only able to do $660,000. So the road paving has certainly increased over the years. And the next slide will show all the red is what we've been able to do from 12 to 19. So that is outstanding. I mean, that is great work and everybody working together to accomplish this. Now, I don't have a slide for this one, but David, if you could pass those out now. In addition to the road paving projects that we've done, I want you to look at this sheet. And all of this is completed. This entire sheet has been addressed and completed. And Steve, we have one for you as well. So we had to work on University Drive, Warmington Road, Ledgewood Boulevard, Tage and Stanton, Williams and Reservoir, Noble Place, 6th and Andrew, 16th and Forest, 24th Street Southeast. We worked on Gray Ridge Estates, Deerford Avenue, 27th Street Northwest with drainage issues, Noble Place upward, a pipe in a ditch, Meadowcrest Northwest, Marguerite, 17th Street Lincoln Park, Meadows Avenue, 27th Street Northeast, Marion and Forest Storm Sewer, and 17th Street Northwest. So in addition to all the roads, I wanted you to see what goes on behind the scenes of other drainage issues that we have in the city that's being addressed. And we also have another sheet that we're working on for 2020 that we'll be working on throughout the year. And then at the end of the year or beginning of next year, we'll give you this sheet as well so you can see what other issues we're working on. Thank you, Jason. Catch basins has been a hot topic, and we're really, really excited that in 2019 we were able to do 408 catch basins. That is an outstanding number. We spent about $465,000 to repair and replace catch basins. In 18, we spent over $500,000, in 17, $500,000, and 16 just short of $4.5 million. So I can tell you that we're working hard on the catch basins. This year, for 2020, we have $450,000 planned to utilize to repair and replace catch basins as well. Our street department. We've installed new traffic cabinets. We've installed new traffic lights. We've installed new traffic delineators. And that's to keep people in their lane. And you can see that down on Erie. We've painted traffic lines and arrows. We've purchased equipment, the traffic controller cabinets, a laser, paint gun, and personal protective equipment in the street department. They've also put down over 700 tons of asphalt, and we list the areas there. They've charged with grass, weed, and brush control. They've filled potholes citywide, snow removal and ice control, and we've been able to purchase 1 dump truck and plow, 2 mowers, a trailer, and personal protective equipment. Our engineering department. They were very busy on Richfield Drive, which is in Ward 4. That was about $1.5 million, almost $1.6 million. And that has been outstanding, not only for our businesses, but also for our residents. We have a 5-year capital improvement plan, a 2019 paving program. We did about $1.6 million there. Our target streets, $151,000. 27th Street was a joint project, $267,000. We worked on the Spring Hill Settlement and Augusta Drive underdrain project. So as you know, those areas did not have underdrains, and we had to go back in and put those in. And we're phasing those projects so that they have the proper drainage that they need and allow their roads to be paved and sustain themselves for some time. As you can see, we've had with water, you have more breakdown in the Spring Hill area as well as the Augusta. And when those underdrains are put in properly, because they were missing, then those problems will be eliminated and the road surface will last longer. The ODOT coordination on Lincoln Way, the bulk's called bulk replacement. And we have a catch basin plan, we have an annual plan, but we also have rated every catch basin that we know of in our city, and are working on getting rid of all the 4s and 5s. They're graded, all the 4s and 5s by the end of this year. So that's very exciting as well. We have partnered with Aqua and Dominion, and we've partnered with Aqua for many years, but Dominion, we're pulling them in, so when they're doing a project, we know exactly what they're doing. So everybody's at the table, and that's happened for the past couple of years. Our civil service department, we have a new civil service director. Her name is Jody. We've been able to hire 2 new building code enforcement officers, a community development administrative assistant because we promoted Sam. Our fire department, we've hired 3. Our income tax, 1. Our police department, 7. Our wastewater department, 2, for a total of 16 hires. We, as you can see, we've hired Jody, who's part-time, and 4 street seasonal employees. We really need 5, so if you know of young people this summer, we need 5 young people to help us out in the street department as seasonal employees. Custodian, administrative interns, and electric plumbing inspectors. Our community development department. Through the NIP program, we tore down 20 dilapidated abandoned structures that were tax delinquent. And as you see in that carryover of the $9 million, $500,000 of that came from the NIP program. We provided financial assistance to 13 nonprofit groups. We used our CDBG funds for 11 homeowners for minor repairs, 6 roofs, 4 furnace replacements, and plumbing repairs. We also provided down payment assistance for 8 home buyers, and we were also able to give $5,000 to make minor repairs to those properties as well, to bring them up to code. We also completed 2 full rehab projects for qualified low to moderate income homeowners for a total cost of $49,000. So we do have funds in that department to help our community. Our sub-recipients for CDBG, our Boys and Girls Club, the Can't Next News Boys, Conquest, Domestic Violence Project, Faith in Action, Habitat for Humanity, Make a Way, Massillon Main Street, Salvation Army, Stark County Mental Health and Addiction, Vantage Aging, and this is just something for us to all realize. It used to be called Meals on Wheels. It's now Vantage Aging, West Stark Family Service, and then YWCA of Western Stark County. So those dollars were wisely spent with those not-for-profits. The health department is on the move. They brought a new evidence-based program for senior citizens called Matter of Balance. It's a free program. It provides education guidance to reduce the risk of falls and increase activity levels. So that's outstanding. And the health department partnered with Rotary Club of Massillon and the All In for Kindness campaign, and they made buddy benches and placed those in the local elementaries and intermediate schools. And I know our safety director was one that was out there helping to paint those. So we thank you, Barb, for your input. As I said earlier, the Massillon Police Department hired 7 officers. We purchased 1 Ford Interceptor utility. We replaced old Windows, 7 desktops, and tablets. So now we have Windows 10, we're current. Added 24 body-worn cameras, installed bullet-resistant glass and framing in the records room. We installed ADA-compliant doors at the lobby entrance. We connected the console outside lobby doors to our dispatch center. We improved the back lot with restriping and put in parking blocks. We added paperless scheduling and payroll. We did proper training, ethics, supervisor training, and education program step training. Some went to the Police Executive Leadership College, the PELC, and the department was featured in 2020 Ford Police Vehicle Calendar. Our fire EMS responses are at 6,143. And I believe it was $1 million in that $9 million carryover number that you saw earlier. January 2019, the county finally migrated to a single radio platform called Stark Mars. If you all can remember when St. Mary's caught on fire and Perry came and they could not communicate with their radios, today we can communicate with our radios with a joint crisis. In February, we did have a major natural gas rupture in the area of Freshmark, and all agencies were able to communicate seamlessly. In June, 5 teenagers were rescued from the spillway area on Tremont Street Southeast. The fire department hired 7 new employees. We purchased 2 new ambulances, was awarded a regionalized cooperative grant for a training simulator tool, which you voted on tonight. Fire station number 3 is open as of April 15, 2019, and is now the busiest station once again in our city. Our Massillon Rec Center and parks and the legends, I'll go over quickly. All new sand filters for the pools at the Recreation Center. New and more efficient heater for the kiddie pool. 2 new staff members attended training on teaching those with physical and mental disabilities how to swim or enjoy the water. New facility maintenance supervisor. They updated their music system. Had a membership drive for November and had 268 new memberships. They had new fitness classes and instructors early morning and late night. And they're starting to have theme classes to get more people motivated to come to class. Glow, Zumba, Halloween theme, etc. The playground program was more organized this past year with new field trips, better staffing, and the Massillon Schools teaching program assisted them. And new free weights in the fitness room. In the parks, new Jacobson wide area mower, new vent track with power broom for the walking path. Tennis courts were new, fence and lighting at Reservoir. Gen shaft, they had new drainage, restrooms, infields, and sod. They painted the restrooms at Community Park, Pavilion and Amphitheater and at Stadium Park, the walk bridge and gazebo at Reservoir Park, and Oak Knoll enclosed pavilion they painted inside. The new concrete was done on the walkway underneath Lincoln Way at the pavilion and at the pavilion at Reservoir Park. New playground mulch at Oak Knoll, South Sippo, Kiwanis, Kitty, and Lincoln Parks. The basin of the reservoir was mowed and cleaned up. The east bank cleared of dead trees, weeds, debris, and wildflowers were planted. And the wading pool at Oak Knoll Park was painted and a new filter and baskets installed. Schreiber basketball courts were resurfaced, new backboards and court were painted. And the legends. They increased their revenue by $190,000 from 2018. They're up 7,350 rounds of golf in 2019 from 18. They've acquired 14 new leagues in 19, reconstructed 13 sand traps, paved cart paths on 1, 3, and 9 North, updated the men and women's restrooms, updated the Legends website to make it user-friendly, put into place an after-hours live answering system where golfers can make their tee times when they are not there. They purchased an aerifier for green and tee aerification, which cut labor costs by 60%. So they're doing an outstanding job also. The Senior Center was very busy this year. They offered free income tax services Monday and Thursday and processed over 600 claims and returns. They held a carnival at the Massillon Knights of Columbus and over 200 people attended. They held a summer picnic at the Massillon Rec, multiple van and bus trips, a steak fry, wiener roast at the rec center, and they hosted a Christmas luncheon. And they also did purchase new equipment for the center. So Altman Massillon is here. So, as I said earlier, we're blessed to have them in our city. They are doing about, on average, 50 patients a day. They do it's higher now, Chief? Yes. That number is moving. So I think every week it goes up a little bit. I have received from multiple people positive feedback on the care that they've received there. So one thing that it has helped us with is to get our fire department back into service much quicker than going to Canton. So we're saving on our staffing, we're saving on time and miles. And our residents are getting acute care when they need it, and it's right here in our city. The new program, as I said earlier, 20 houses were torn down, bringing the total number to 60. Many of the cleared properties are being acquired by Habitat for Humanity to build new single-family homes for low-income families. $734,000 is the amount the city has spent to date on demolitions. And that was for the cost to clean out, the asbestos removal, surveys, and abatements. We're going to continue to communicate with our community. We do it multiple ways. The City of Champions magazine, the TV show Massillon Today on Channel 22, and that is given to us at no cost by Bob Gessner from MCTV. The city website is updated regularly. We have a city event calendar, and many people can go on there and add their events. And many resources and information are available to residents on our website. Our social media, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we try as best we can to keep our residents updated with city news and events. We use it as well for when we cancel a concert. So that cuts down calls to our office, but we really want to try to use every mechanism we have at our fingertips to communicate with our residents. One thing that the new council members may not know is we have a program now called Nixle, and if you text 888-777 and put Massillon in your text box, you'll be connected directly to the city. So if there is a road that's closed, if anybody's connected to it now, you saw on 21 and I think it was Cherry, it was shut down for a small amount of time this past weekend, and this Nixle provides us with that capability to communicate that immediately with our residents. And then we'll also be able to provide updates when it reopens, which was done this weekend. We'd like to congratulate Tammy Wagner, who was named Fire Code Official of the Year by the Building Officials Association. Matt Burgasser received an Award of Valor by the Ohio Department of Public Safety, and the Safety Director and I were able to attend that. And Chief Burgasser, Assistant Chief Harbaugh, and EMS Coordinator Mark Wood received an award from the VFW for their part in the spillway rescue. So we're very proud of our officers. That spillway rescue could have turned out very tragic, and we were very fortunate that we had people there that were not afraid to go in and help those students. The Imagine Downtown Massillon project, we're gearing up to finalizing that. They were putting in the second traffic signals that we need on the south side, and those are being put up today, and hopefully by the end of this week, that piece is going to be accomplished, and we'll be getting that road back open, barring any unknown problems that the engineer department is not aware of at this time. And that has been an outstanding project, and now everyone wants their sidewalks done for free. But I can tell council that we are bringing you forth a sidewalk initiative legislation to amend what we actually had to put forth something that people can actually use. And the city is going to be able to pay our portion out front. So we want that sidewalk program to be able to utilize, not just have one to have one. The next phase is phase 2 of the Imagine Downtown Massillon project. And then we were able to submit to the state for the Jake Roberson Memorial Splash Park. And we also added in the pump house that's sitting on Reservoir to help get that started to be renovated. That pump house is a historic building, and I could see a lot of activities happening in there, maybe an ice cream area, maybe an area where you could have a small birthday party, but we did submit for both of those to the capital budget. And we won't know for a little bit, and we'll keep you up to date as to when we get information back from the state. Massillon has been very fortunate. The Army Corps of Engineers has awarded us $22.5 million for the levee, which some people call the river. So we're talking about on 21, the water, the body of water. That is going to begin this year, and it is a $22.5 million project. It will probably take a couple years to complete it fully. We want to again congratulate our treasurer for earning $538,000 in interest income from the investments in 2019. And the city of Massillon received workers' comp refunds, $63,000, as well as $184,000 for safety participation. We held 2 neighborhood community fairs last year, and I sit on multiple committees throughout the county, and what I see for some of our residents is they don't have jobs, they don't have transportation, and so what we're trying to accomplish with the neighborhood community fair is to give them all the resources that they need to be able to fix or attain one of their goals that they'd like to have. So if they don't have a college degree and they want one, we had colleges there. If they need childcare, we had childcare there. Jobs and Family Services was there. So we're going to plan on having 2 more this year. And last time, Altman and CTE sponsored those. I'm hoping that they'll do that again this year. But it's vital for our community to be able to have those resources. And the best way that I've seen these past 8 years is to go to the neighborhood. Not to just have a job fair at the rec center, but to really have all those resources available in their neighborhood. So we'll be scheduling and organizing that too. We hope to do the Northwest and the Northeast this year. I did put a quote up there from Henry Ford to kind of close out this 2019 year. And one thing that I really would like to stress, I've been here now 8 years, and I've been reelected for 4 more. And what I'd like to see is, and I think council and the administration has worked fairly well together, but I'd really like to see a camaraderie for these next 4 years, that we're working together, and we're going to not agree on everything. We're going to have disagreements, but I think we need to have respect, and we invite you in. If you want to come sit in one of our staff meetings, you're welcome to. Everybody here, we have a small staff. I don't know if the community knows how small a staff that we actually have. We do a lot of good things with this small staff, and you all put in your time, and we need to work together for our community. We all live here, we love our city, and so I would just like to say coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success, and that's by Henry Ford. So I thank you for listening to the State of the City tonight, and I look forward to working with all of you. As we promised, Council, before I leave, Jason, did you get to pass those out to everyone? Okay. So, Council, we promised that we would have to you, we have 2 lists for you to look at. And Dave's family is preparing legislation for this Wednesday to be turned into Diane. We would like to add $2 million from our carryover to the paving for this year. And we'd like to ask for your support on that. The engineers department has worked very hard to try to divvy this up so that everybody gets something, and it's not an easy thing to do. The engineers are well versed in this, but they have tried their hardest to do a great job. And then they also have to look at how many streets are in that area, because you can get more paved if you don't have to move from that area across town. So please take a look at your streets. And he'll be talking more about that next week, so we wanted you to have it a week in advance so you have time to study it and bring questions back. They have asked me that if you do have questions ahead of time, if you can email them, that is helpful, because then they can get your answers to you for Monday night, if you would do that. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. That was